So full disclosure, I am still sick, so I apologize, but not as sick as Baltimore Ravens fans are of their defense. A pretty good segue, huh? Today, anyways, we are going to be rebuilding the Baltimore Ravens, a team that is right now 1-2. I was thinking this team or the Chiefs, and I'm like, you know what? They play each other. If I were to guess, I would bet Ravens win. So, in theory, I could rebuild the Ravens and Chiefs this year while they're under 500. That would be a dub. Of course, speaking of a dub, the offense has still been pretty good, right? It's been a little worse than last year, but overall it is still, I believe the highest scoring offense in the league. Ironically enough, though, defense is, if I'm not mistaken, the highest points allowed or very close to it. So this is a pretty fun team to watch. Let's put it that way. Of course, looking at the team anyways, Lamar Jackson's a freak. Henry's a monster still. This guy is feeding running back generations on Madden. It's great. It's great. Of course, looking at the receivers, I think this is a team that across the board, at least on offense, definitely has enough firepower, a good enough offensive line to win it all. The problem is that defense. We'll get to it in a second. But, of course, Zay Flowers, Bateman, Hopkins made a couple of big plays. It's not a bad-looking trio. It's not. They just got to stay healthy. Same with being healthy is, Isaiah Likely. We're not really talking about him because, well, he hasn't played. He's been injured. So, if he gets healthy, Andrews stays healthy, they've got a little bit of depth, they got a little bit of talent, and then an offensive line, a little bit better in the run blocking, but still a good enough offensive line, especially, their tackle, and of course, Linderbaum. We already know about those two guys. I'm kind of curious to see Lamar Jackson's numbers, though, his ratings. So deep accuracy is 85, which seems a little low, but 96 speed, 95 XL. This is a guy that is pretty damn hard to stop. I mean, look at these abilities. Very elusive stuff. Run a read option, even though the read option kind of sucks in the game, and you're probably having a good time. Of course, looking at the defensive side of the ball, not a good unit as a whole. Most of the guys, normally it's like, okay, well, you got a couple of guys that are playing well individually, and they just suck as a team, but honestly, they're also kind of playing poorly individually, as, Roquan's good, Trenton's good, but the cornerback play, Jair, a lot of Ravens fans are thinking, okay, well, maybe he'll be healthy, maybe he'll be elite, with the best cornerback duo in the league. Well, Jair has been garbage. Let's just call it how it is. This is Trey White, all right? This is the Trey White situation all over again. Some injuries, some fall off, and what was once a very elite, all-pro type cornerback has had his career sort of cut short, right? Due to injury and all that stuff. Missing, 14 games out of the last 2 seasons. And I think, already missing a decent bit of time for the Ravens. I think Ravens fans would have wished he missed all of the time. Kind of selling, arguably losing them a game this season. But either way, Wiggins, solid. I'm expecting him to be the corner 2 going forward. Awuzie could be the corner 1 or 2 going forward. We'll see. Maybe the 3 and 4 are actually the 1 and 2 when it's all said and done. Matabike, when healthy, which for the most part he's been healthy, is obviously a difference maker, a game wrecker, if you will. And then we're hoping Mike Green steps it up a little bit for us because he has a lot of potential with that 76 overall and all that speed. The real concern with this team isn't necessarily the defense, at least in game. It's the fact that I don't know who the hell we're going to pay. I don't remember a single rebuild, at least so far this year, where I didn't at least see Zay Flowers and Linderbaum. Let alone at least seeing Linderbaum, Zay Flowers away, Marlon Humphrey. Usually they keep Jair, if I'm not mistaken. And then Stanley goes. So this is a team that obviously, with all the talent they have, there's a huge drop-off because you can't afford everybody. So we'll see what happens there. But anyways, if you guys end up enjoying this video, leave a like, subscribe if you're new, hit the bell notification also, when the next upload is. We should have had a Panthers franchise upload earlier today. Follow me on Twitter, Jeromepkr, second channel, PK Replacement on Madden content. Had 2 videos up there yesterday, so check it out. And if you guys do want to see the Chiefs next, especially if they end up losing, which they might not, who knows, let me know in the comment section below, or what team you want to see next, regardless. Also, just pray for me, okay? This sickness it's tough. I am not down with the sickness. Like, I keep making the head joke, but my head is literally killing me. It is pounding. As the Ravens, actually, in this universe, lose to the Chiefs. And this is where I have struggles. I have some issues, because I know the Ravens sign Jair quite often. They re-sign him a lot. But I just don't know, dude. There's a chance, if you were to find a way to be healthy, that he could turn it around, but Dude, do I play it how it lies or not? Because there's got to be something EA is seeing that they still have him as 90, or they're, there's like, oh crap, I forgot, Jair Alexander, they just drop him to an 81 overall like next week. But I don't know. I really don't know. And then Mark Andrews, there's been a lot of ups and downs. He's 29, about to be 30. I mean, this team, like I said before, it usually loses those players. I don't know what to do with OAs either. 3 sacks. I don't know what the hell I'm going to do with 3 sacks. I mean, we actually have a little bit of money. Like, I'm not completely screwed. But I also want to save some money for Zay, obviously. And who the hell do I see as the long term on this team? Like, again, I think Jair's a no-brainer if you're basing on his overall and age right now. But if you're looking at his real-life resume these last few years, it's like, I don't know about that. We'll go Linderbaum for sure. I think he makes a lot of sense, even though he's a center. And then, dude, I don't know. I really don't want to replace... Well, I guess Mike Green we're hoping is a long-term option, but I really don't want to replace an edge rusher. But, do I really bet on Jair, who just... Like, we're betting on him, but we're not really betting on him because it doesn't really matter too much in, like, a rebuild versus real life. Like, hell, in-game, his injury is 86. Like, I don't know if I would even argue about the toughness. I would say both should be low. So, 86 injury you could live with for sure, even with that low toughness. We did a 2-year 32 for Mark Andrews. I'm going to let Jair go. Just too many injuries. I just, in real life, I just don't think this is going to happen. Whereas in game, sure it could. But even then, I have Marlon Humphrey and Nate Wiggins. So, those are going to be my 2 guys. Marlon's like a year older. 1 lower dev, though, to be fair. But I think that'll be fine. Likely, we just got to let go, sadly. I imagine there's going to be some team out there willing to pay a little bit of money for him, so in real life, you probably get a decent pick back for the comp, but letting everyone else go, Daniel Falele, I love the 6'8", 380 build, but, 25 years old, 74 overall normal, it's just not going to happen, so even Hopkins, he'll probably retire, so. I mean, this, again, could be worse. This is actually a pretty solid-looking squad. Oh, forgot about Ricard. Let's do a 2-year 6.6. Don't mind if I do. Almost forgot the GOAT. Ravens always had some pretty decent fullbacks. Go Leach. Bring them back. It's not fair that Green Bay didn't realize what they had. This Ravens team had one hell of a turnaround. I have never seen anything like this in, like, sim history. This was unbelievable. Especially if they win this. This is, like, really unbelievable. Which they do. Oh, my. You're thinking, 12-5. That's pretty unexpected. That's pretty expectable for the Ravens. Look at this clutch up. We were 2-5. No change to the scheme because, if I'm changing the Ravens scheme year 1, I deserve to lose. Unbelievable turnaround. I was thinking year 1, holy crap, we're actually missing the playoffs. But no, they clutched up. Derrick Henry with a ridiculous season. Even better than last year. Receiving, it's Madden. It's the way this scheme goes. Not going to see the receivers do much, which makes me think when Derrick Henry does leave us, that's probably when we have to change the scheme. Because we cannot rely on a big brute power back to run the ball, for 2,000 yards if we got some bum. Of course, Mike Green, what a year. 9.5. OA picked it up tremendously. Picks, 3 for Roquan, 3 for Wiggins. Pretty good stuff there. Kicking was good enough for a rook. Stout, pretty solid. Pretty stout. Okay, I'm not going to do it. I'm sick. I ain't that sick. All right, I ain't that sick in the head. Lamar Jackson, number 3. Seems like it's just Josh Allen, Lamar Jackson. Could somebody come in new, win the MVP? Ain't gonna be Jordan Love. That guy will have a great game and then just be like, you know what? Just for funsies, I'm gonna close my eyes this throw. Whee! And then just bye ball. Of course, offensive player of the year, Derrick Henry at number 2. No, for defensive player of the year. Who would have thought? Who would have thought we didn't do that? No! And of course, we lose it to the freaking rival Browns. Mike Green could have been a superstar. Oh, that sucks. Lamar number 2. Derrick Henry number 1, obviously. Bateman number 5. A little surprised by that, actually. What was Bateman's numbers? Wait, am I missing something here? Or was it Bateman that did well and Flowers didn't? Was I just assuming it was Flowers? Did I just assume my receiver? It was Bateman. Okay, well, now I really need to change the scheme when Derrick Henry goes because that's even worse than I thought. Either way, it could be a year 1 Super Bowl win, which would obviously mean we've done our job, all right? We've killed it. Hey, I moved a couple players around. I put Buchanan in as a starter. Hey, I had a huge part. No memeing, though. To be fair, we actually did change the team a bit. Like, normally they wouldn't start Mike Green and Sim and, you know, Buchanan the youngster. And, you know, there's definitely some positions like wide receiver that, you know, you do have to move around a little bit. So, you know, even though I'm kind of trolling a little bit, it is actually, like, especially long-term wise, what you can do as a user year one for the Ravens is actually pretty significant, right? Like, Mike Green goes from, like, useless to a contributor right away, which, of course, as a rookie, we know that XP is crazy. Which so far, defense playing crazily well. And, you know, I don't know how to feel about Rodgers and the Steelers because I just don't think it's just going to happen for him. We'll see. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe they kill it. But I'd like to see him win. I'd like to see him do something. You know, obviously in this rebuild, thank God they didn't, right? Rodgers done. Every time I see that, because of that S, it just looks like an earring. And that just looks like a look Rodgers, a couple years after retirement, is going to be pulling off. He is going to have a full-on identity crisis. I just know it. And I don't want him to be. I'm not one of the, like, Rodgers haters. I don't give a damn, right? I don't really care about any of that off-the-field stuff. I actually kind of like the fact that he, like, just doesn't give a damn. Like, he's just like, well, I'm Rodgers, and I am not your media puppet, so, yeah. You know, Marshawn Lynch gets all this credit for, you know, I'm just here so I don't get fined. It doesn't talk to the media. And then Rodgers, he does talk to the media, says whatever the hell he wants, and they hate him too. It's like, okay. Well, I guess they didn't hate Lynch. Actually, people loved Lynch for that. So I don't know what the hell I'm yapping about. I'm just sick. Let me go to bed, okay, please? Broncos versus the Ravens. You know, what is Blood yapping about? Rodgers and Lynch are friends in real life. There you go. That's the connection. That's it. Everything else is brain dead. Let me just go to sleep. It's already going to be one of those unhinged rebuilds. Let's go. We love a good unhinged rebuild where Yap is unstoppable. Of course, speaking of unstoppable, the Broncos on that first drive, they stop us with ease, though, and holy crap, 10-0. Come on, Baltimore, police! 17-0. Wow, Denver is cooking us alive. 3 points. It is 24-3. Okay, we got to come in. Well, it's just pretty much over anyways, but... Oh, they missed. Wait a minute. That is, like, massive. Now, it's not the end of the world for them, and it probably still is a win for them, but with 10 minutes left, we could actually win now. We got to make a play for us. That's a good throw. I mean, I've not used a quarterback even remotely as good as Lamar, even though he's playing, like, utter garbage. So, let the record show this could be a realistic thing. This is actually the play we just ran, isn't it? No, it's not. No, it is not. That's a great throw. Why is he jumping for that? Oh, my God. Was that just a garbage throw, or what's the story? Because that feels like he didn't need to do that. I'm going to take that. Mark Andrews gets blown up there again. Another ball where he doesn't need to jump for. However, I'll admit that I did aggressive catch, so that was actually me this time. You know, I always give out and, like, complain about, oh, my God, 3 straight incompletions. Look at your boy. That is crazy that he just didn't get open. Dude, why am I so bad? All right, Flowers. Might be dependent on here, buddy. Predetermined. Oh, it's great coverage, though. And small-ass Zay Flowers can't catch it. 4 straight incompletions. I do not get the right ever again to complain. And on 3rd and 13, they get the conversion. We just lost. 31-10, dude. Oof, that is tough. I was really like, you know what? I think we're going to win this game. I'm going to have a touchdown drive here, help him get a stop, have another touchdown drive. Nope, not even close. Dobbins cooked us alive, and so did their offense in general. Our offense sucked. Wow, Mike Green killed it. 3 sacks. But, yeah, our defense was just as bad. Denver don't really got the playmakers like that. Like, if they have good enough playmakers to put up 31, we should have good enough playmakers to put up, like, 50. But unfortunately, we did not, so... I'm trying to think, how many times did the Ravens win the Super Bowl? They're one of the teams that wins the Super Bowl quite a bit. So it's not always like I'm just misremembering things. You know, I actually am admitting that the Ravens have won some Super Bowls since we have done rebuilds this year. Denver versus Detroit. Obviously, even though Detroit, Denver has hurt my feelings as a Packers fan historically, I would still be rooting for them, obviously. You know how much fun it is to see the Lions and the Bears and the Vikings get mad when Packers fans do the whole Dallas Cowboys, oh yeah, look at our Super Bowls thing. It's just so, like, I don't like to be one of those guys because it is what have you done lately? But it's so much fun to just troll them with it. Like, it just gets them so mad. Which, to be fair, I'd be mad too if I was them. I'd be like, what? Yeah, you always live in the past. Then as a Packers fan, I'll just be like, oh yeah, well, you're Detroit Lions. That was last season. You're still living in the past. No, it gets crazy sometimes, all right? But looking at the team, no dev-ups. Mike Green could have had one if he won Rookie of the Year, but he did not. We see a bit of regression from Derrick Henry. Bit of a regression, obviously, from Hopkins, who I'm surprised didn't retire, to be honest. And then don't think a regression from anyone else. Maybe if we have the money, we re-sign Jair for one more year. But at the same time, you're kind of ruining Nate Wiggins as a starter, right? But I'd like to keep the team intact if we can afford it. You know, if we don't have to pay anyone, why not? But at the same time, maybe there's like a sick lineman in free agency. I should not be saying the word sick. That is like, that's too soon. Like, that just affects me. Wow, Jair left us. I'm not saying like Jair's a bad person, but that is something he would probably do. I ain't gonna lie. Away was good for us, but he wasn't great. I think off and away for him. I'm sorry, that was pretty bad too. Looking at everyone else though, doubling, tripling up on cornerback when we don't really need to. That is the rebuilder way, if you will. Let's see in free agency who is there. Taylor Moton shouldn't even be there, to be fair. Any edge rusher, just to like, you know, hey, just in case we suck in the draft, we got an option. Probably not, but let's hope. Well, I offered on 2 players, didn't get him. I wanted Keanu Benton just to bolster up the DT spot a little bit, and he went to the Colts. All right, we're in the draft with pick 28, and thank the Lord, the edge room is pretty good. Got some pretty good edge rushers, a bunch of different options. Got like 4 players we'd be willing to take on top of the other guys that are a little bit higher that probably will be gone. But if we can get to even like 18, maybe 20 without having to trade up, that'd be great. So we'll slow sit it until we get to a spot where we might have to trade up, which is probably very likely. And then we'll make that trade up to have somebody across from Mike Green. That's the biggest issue right now, in my opinion, is that edge. Look how many DTs and corners are going, though. That's crazy. That's what? 3 corners. What is that? 5 DTs in the first 12 picks, 13 picks. All right, surprisingly enough, we made it all the way to our draft pick without having to trade up. We have a couple of options. Bad part is the best remaining edge rusher, in my opinion, is Ballard. And with Ballard, he's a power guy, which we all know that speed rusher is the best to develop. We're going to take Javier Ballard, though, who I think he'll be a good overall, but I definitely expect normal dev. Either way, we're going to have to grab him. We're going to have to try to develop him. 35 true talent, I can live with it. And now he's hitting. All right, I'm wrong. Those power guys, dude, I don't know what it is. Well, to be fair, we've had a lot of like finesse guys that are like really, 85 plus speed, 86 finesse, but they're normal. So I can't really even say that. It's just in general, late first round edge rushers are kind of normal a lot of the times. But hey, that works for me. Of course, there was one of those USC type of safeties in this one. The Patriots took him, I believe. So we'll definitely have to take a look at him because he looked just like, one of the prototypical hit stick guys. The next positional need, though, would probably be guards. Maybe a safety for the future, but that's, assuming we can't afford Hamilton, which probably is factual, to be fair, but not really a concern of mine just yet. Linebacker, not yet either. Got a lot of youth there. DT, got a couple of guys, but I don't really think any of them stand out. Labato was okay, but again, just not a guy that stands out enough. I think he was actually 3 to 4, by the way, and then jumped up to 2 to 3. So that is that. Don't know what I want to do here because, unless I go safety, which I could, we could go Sarah. Don't know the zone coverage. Oh, he's slow. Who was it that I was actually looking at? They're all raw. I usually just look at a couple of ratings. The 40 time usually does kind of because obviously I'm looking at him like this. I'm looking at this. I'm like, oh, 4.47. That guy's, 4.47 is great. Then you look at him, it's like, oh, left side says speed is solid. He's probably like 87, 88 speed. That's not very good. What about Stanford, though? He's a 3 to 4, but ironically enough, looks the best. I don't love these moves. I'm going to look at the DTs. If I don't like them, I think we're moving down. He's okay, but let's move down. Let's just do it. Patriots are going to give us a decent trade. We get to 85, and we get a, was it a 4th round pick with it? I should probably know these things. And even though I don't need a linebacker, I got to take pure value when it's there. Clayton Andrews, super fast. Should be at least like a 100 range guy. Oh, 44. Dev? Oh, what a draft pick. I think he's actually going to start over Buchanan. To be fair, I didn't see if Buchanan went up in Dev or not, but that probably is our starter there now, right? Like, he's actually really good. Did not expect him to be, like, that solid. We do have a couple other, like, DTs like this. Harvin is interesting, but I don't know if I will. I think Fordham's a little bit better. I guess we'll take Fordham. DT is one of our big needs right now. We need to arguably 2 of them, so probably should have taken Harvin and then Fordham. 69 true talent, though. Normal dev. Kind of expected. We need O-line, too, though, so... Let's see, pick 4 in the 4th. Actually, a pretty good trade, all things considered. Breen, very weird build because he is super slow, but he's one of those agile builds. I guarantee he's a 74 overall plus normal dev. But do I really need that, though? That's the question. Yeah. You know what? I kind of do. I'm taking Calvin Vereen. We need a number 3, don't we? Because Hopkins is gone. I guess you could use Tez. Oh! 9 true talent, and he's hidden! I knew he was going to be slow, but A, I did not think his excel, agility, and change of direction would be that good. I was thinking in the 92 range. And I figured, 74 overall normal. We see these guys all the time. But no, he is way higher. He might be like 75, 76. Well, probably 76. Maybe 77. Doubt 78, but if it's a really good class, could be all the way up to 78. Also, the line position is tough. To be fair, we only needed 2 linemen, so that would be those 2 linemen if we take them, which we should. That's probably going to be our next couple picks. This draft has gone well. Like, just to start, the fact that we got a hidden edge rusher is super rare. For me, at least. 30 true talent, Bautista. Mr. Batista with a hidden dev, automatic starter. And we'll take a look at the next selection, which should be the other guard. This has been a great draft. As if the Ravens needed this in real life. This guy's raw, but he's big, and he's got a couple of potentials in there. 72 true. He is hidden dev. Not amazing, but a couple of Bs, just enough. A couple of Bs with a bunch of A to Cs. So a bunch of Bs and Cs at worst. Couple of A's at best. Took the chance, worth it. To be fair, I don't really have any other options. All the other linemen looked garbage. And then, sadly, the only DTs we have left are all, like, nose tackle types, which, pick your poison. They all look pretty much the same. Maybe you take 2 of them just because. Jose Matthias, 37 true. Hidden! A hidden nose tackle. I wish my nose was hidden right now, because, oh my god, it's killing me. And then Williams is still there, so we'll take Skylar Williams as well. Double up on the DTs. 62 true. Normal dev. That's a little bit more expected for me. Just a little bit. So going for the, smart ratings, like the awareness, play rec, all that kind of stuff, does pay off. It does. Javon Bullard's, we can do that? We could trade for guys like Javon Bullard? Okay, yeah, Vereen, 77. Sick draft class. Again, too soon. Bring up sickness. Ballard, you expect star, but it could be, could be superstar, could be X-Factor, you never know. Could get lucky. Dev is star dev. Is that a new background? I think that's new. I like that if that is new. I don't, most of the time, unless it's vastly different, I just kind of go with the flow. I don't really pay attention too much. Clayton Andrews, though, that is our new Sam linebacker, I suppose. Although, you know what? He could be the Will and then put Trenton at Sam. I guess both are kind of... what's the size? Who's actually taller? Probably Trenton, right? Trenton's like 6'3". Oh, actually, this guy's, I think, bigger, right? 6'3", 239. There's no way Trenton's 239. He's probably like 222. You know what? I actually really want to know now. I want to know. Is our cheese going to be legit? Yeah, he's not small by any means, but he is smaller. Moving over to Sam linebacker. Be a lot cheaper to sign him anyways, and it's legit because he is the smaller of the 2, I suppose. Probably also will trade Buchanan because Buchanan's not bad. It's just we found a guy. Forgot about Fordham, dude. What a draft pick that was. Wait. Am I crazy? Was it Matai? Oh, so it wasn't. So Fordham was a bad draft pick. I forgot about that. I forgot he was normal dev. I don't know why I was anticipating that he was not normal, like me in the head. Thought he was hidden dev, but I do remember this now. Vereen was his dev star. Honestly, better than normal is unexpected to me for sure. and the rest are just, you know, backups probably. Not going to click into him, but I do want to see what that overall was for the Patriots. He was 87 overall. That is close to the highest overall we have seen in an actual rebuild. Like, obviously, we've done the Simming 30 Years videos. Check those out if you haven't. But in an actual rebuild where you can take these guys and, you know, do a rebuild for a couple years, holy, that's crazy. Let's take a look at what his dev is. I wonder what dev he's got. No, X Factor. All right, here is the year 2 team. I think we've done pretty well here. Obviously, had a great draft. Long-term wise, we're looking a little bit better. We'll see who we can afford. I'm not really sure. Usually, like I said, we see Flowers, we see Andrews, we see Linderbaum. So the fact that we haven't seen the contracts yet for Zay Flowers at least, and Ronnie Stanley tells me it's going to get pretty bad, I'd say. Defensively, you know, hoping Ballard's that guy, and you know, hoping these guys can develop too. Team looks good for this year, though. That's really what matters. I'm going to keep Teddy Buchanan as well, because I like the backup depth. I think it's good. And yeah, our biggest concerns have become a reality. We have $23 million. We have to pay Zay Flowers, Jair Alexander, Marlon Humphrey, Trenton Simpson. You know, even Trenton Simpson's a lot of money. Even put him at Sam linebacker. So Trenton's almost like guaranteed to be a cap casualty, whereas Flowers he might be able to get away with just barely. Yeah, barely. So we're broke us out. We're going to have to do some restructuring to, you know, be able to field a team next season, it seems. So yeah, the struggles begin. You know, we're going to be losing our 2 top corners, so this is definitely the year to do it if we can. And Wiggins is cornerback 1 going forward. Probably going to need to draft a cornerback in this upcoming draft, even though I have running back, tight end scouted further. Oh, look at Clayton. He goes to superstar. Like, oh, in case you didn't see it because it was actually last second. Holy crap, Andrews is killing it. 4 to block, shed, tackle, and pursuit. He's an 86 overall with 2 upgrade points already. Having a pretty good year. If we win this game, some good things can happen. Not for sure, but they can for sure happen. Weird to say not for sure, but for sure can happen. I don't know, dude. Words are tough. We do win. We get the bye week. 13-4. Looking across the league here, you do have the Chiefs sneaking in, the Texans, Raiders. So no Bengals, though. We're the only team coming out of this division. Show you guys the win-loss. Jacobs back on top. Wish that would happen in real life because he is struggling a little bit. Blocking's just not been good. He's still the same guy he always has been. Just, he's getting Raiders blocks, which is not good. And speaking of not good, what are these passing numbers? I get it, 25 on the ground, but holy crap. I don't care if it's 2,500 on the ground. Give me some passing numbers. What can I do with this? The Ravens are a really hard team to rebuild if you're trying to stick it out with their playbooks, because their playbooks are so bad for development. It's insane. Both sides of the ball are just not developing because they just don't do traditional things. Speaking of things that aren't traditional, the Eagles offense, Jalen Hurts wins MVP. Take a look. I wonder, when we look at someone like Jalen Hurts for MVP, because that one year he was actually really close and probably did, you know, had a chance to deserve it. Do they actually look at the, like, you know, 1-yard touchdowns and all that? Because it's like, well, it's hard to be like, oh, well, 1-yard tush push touchdown. That's not really skillful. At the same time, I do feel like other teams would run it just as much as them if they were as good. You know, he's a little bit of a special quarterback because you don't feel as worried about him getting injured because he's got the strong legs and build. So it's a tough one, dude. It's so divisive. But Clayton Andrews, Rookie of the Year, you knew it was going to happen because he is just absolutely insane from start to finish. Like, what even is his overall? Like, is he going to be better than Roquan soon? It would not surprise me. He is already an 87 overall. What a draft pick. Absolutely ridiculous. We have the bye week, so automatically moving on further than we did last year, on to the divisional round. A year 2 Super Bowl wouldn't be bad because we could do 2 more years. It'd be a 4-year Super Bowl. Could have a chance at a dynasty. Chargers, though, let's take a look. See what they did for this game. So the Bills move on, which, boo. Raiders move on over the Chiefs. And then we have the Chargers moving on over the Titans. Could have been the Titans here. Or somebody else. I don't know who, but a little disappointing. But 84 overall. We haven't beat by 6 overalls, but still, Justin Herbert scares me. They got a defense. I'm worried. Weird scheme, never does well in sim. I get the team runs the ball really well, but the numbers I'm seeing on both sides of the ball, I don't know how we're 13-4 with the number 1 seed. I really don't, and I'm hoping the Chargers don't prove to us that our concerns are legit. As so far, the Chargers, I mean, our offense is just doing pretty much nothing. 3rd and 1. If you can't get a yard, why are we doing all this special stuff? Can we not just, like, run it right up the middle with, I don't know, the 250-pound, 6'3" monster? He is scary. And he fights the whole team, but will be short a yard. What's even the point? There's only one play to go to in a time like this. Oh my God, there's a million tight end type players on this team. And Lamar, look at how fast. Dude, how is that fair? He's so quick. Holy. All right, let's see if the team can. I can't believe that's the mesh we had. Thankfully, we learned to be weary of it now. Come on, get a touchdown. Huge, huge. So we know what we're dealing with later on. We got to pay attention to the mesh we're using. Make sure it's not the 45 tight end mesh. All right, 2nd and 8. The defense has done literally nothing to try to win this game. Let's see if we can come in and help the day. We don't usually win it. We don't usually play perfectly. Oh, we try to pick it off out of position. Good D, though. Amarian Hampton gains 3. Could have been worse. Defense today, 0. 7th ranking. I imagine that's takeaways. Again, can we get that fixed, please? With these corners, I feel pretty damn good running mid. Of course, it's not going to be for much longer. It's like this season, and that's it. And almost picked off, although it would have been a huge one. Good defense, though. They're going to go for this. Really? 9 minutes left. You can make it a 1-point game. We have so much talent in the coverage. We should be able to get another mid blitz in here. And we actually get burned. There's no way Jair just got cooked that hard by a backup level tight end. Oh, it's because they got ran into. No, he didn't. He actually just got beat. How? Good risk, I guess. It worked out. 3rd and 8. We got to get this conversion. All right, Mark. Do have Justice Hill here, too. Let's get a slant from Bateman. Vereen is a perfectly timed ball. I don't know what the hell Kennard is doing there, though. I know that's not really his, role, but they got him dropped back. He's got to play coverage, right? 3rd and 2. Oh, my. That's crazy. 2 incompletions in a row. I would never do something like that. It's not exactly the mesh I wanted, but it's still better than the other one. Is that Ertz? Zach Ertz saving the day. This guy's timeless. Huge play to the 16-yard line. There's only 5 minutes left. Come on, Lamar. Don't sell. Please. Nice. Huge touchdown. 4-point lead, but it's 5 minutes left. 4th and 8. They're going to go for this. They're going to punt it, dude. Could be moving on to the championship round. He's got to hold on to possession. If there's any team that can run the clock out, you would think it would be us. All right. I could not think of a worse Super Bowl, though, than Ravens-Eagles. I'm sorry, Ravens fans. You guys are pretty fun to watch, but I do not want to watch 60 in-game minutes of 95% runs. And I know there's arguments to be made that it's real football, how football was intended to be played, but I don't give a damn. Okay, I don't want to see it. I really don't. I have to just take that shot. Could be picked, and it will be. If we tackle him, though, which we don't, it could have been a punt. Instead, it's going to be all the way back to the 27. I mean, show me where the player was open, though. Show me an open player outside of Bateman off rip. I probably did have Bateman on that out. Andrews kind of went. I mean, there's nobody open here. Our sliders are pretty insane. All right, Lamar, I sold you, but, figured take a chance. It's like a punt. It's really not, but I'm coping. And they're wasting all the clock. Oh, Lord, dude. Why did he have to return it so far, though? Oh, come on. Not even close, Hamilton. All right, minute 21. We got to drive down the field to at least get in a field goal. Get a return. We're going to play this all the way out. I'm not going to sim any plays. This is hard, though. You guys see the sliders. You see how difficult this looks. Or I'm just the worst player of all time and making it look more difficult than it needs to be. One of the two. Got Hill on these screen passes and all these types of plays, which I like. I think it's smart. He's a little bit shiftier. And pretty good blocking. Not great, but good. Don't love that we didn't hurry up, but kind of have to. Don't want to waste the timeout just yet. But also want to rush ourselves too much here. We're in trouble. That's just the worst sack I've ever taken in the history of Madden. Just overlooking everything. I can't believe I just don't find somebody open. Hill's kind of open. That throw is tough. Andrews right here. He picks him up. Dude, this is actually pretty good coverage. Like, you do have Bateman probably, but there's nothing so open that it's like blind to not find a read. It is actually kind of tough. Right here, someone gets open, but the pressure gets me, and I'm just like, nah. Sliders are tough, dude. I don't have to tell you. Flowers, pretty good throw. Flowers out of bounds to the 50. Huge. We'll take that for sure. We will take that. If we can at least get a field goal, obviously we can take this overtime, but we're going to take off with Lamar. Dude, that's so OP. They keep, like, trying to get me to, like, run the ball and stuff. Like why? Like, I'm trying to win this game. Oh, he didn't get picked up. I know he wasn't, like, there was nobody free to block him, but I still thought he would get caught up. Can I not just run, like, a straight up? Watching on a freaking audible now. If we can get, like, 15, 20 yards here, which is a lot to ask for, but we have a convoy, which we don't quite get it, but we get about 10. I think it's worth it. One could argue that was a bait. One could argue it. Let's just run a route for Hill just in case they bring all. Oh, we had him, and he sacks us instantly. I have never seen an instant sack like that. I get they brought like an overload, but even our mid blitzes don't get there that quick. Oh, just had him too. Just about to throw it. You can see us. Oh, and they are not wrong to tell me to kick a field goal here because they know me well. If they've watched enough, they know that I will throw a pick here because this is a lot of yards away. Guy's containing so well, dude. And there's really no reason to even hike this ball. They're playing this perfectly. Just into the ground, I guess. Field goal time from 48 yards out. They can ice us. This is fantastic. They don't ice us, though, thankfully. I don't want them to, so I'm glad that worked out. Yeah, it kind of fell off a little bit at the end of the drive, but that's just how all these kind of like last-second drives go. Overtime. Can't believe we didn't win this game just straight up. Good stop. 4th and 10 as well. Oh, come on. There you go. Huge run. What do you mean? A fumble. Oh, my God. Derrick Henry, you bot. It's got to be him. There's no way. It's Derrick Henry. I know it. I can't believe he just sold us. Wow, dude. And that is game. That's crazy. Such a long game, all for what? Nothing. That's what. Try to time it, don't get it, and we fumbled away the game. Way to go, guys. Way to go. And I can't even see the box score. Fantastic. Well, I don't even know if we're going to win a Super Bowl at all now. We lost right away. Right away. It was actually Hill. I apologize, Henry. But you also didn't have a great game anyways. You got outplayed by Hampton. He was the true speed power back. That's tough. That is a tough loss. Because we're losing a lot of players. I mean, if you can't win it there, common sense would tell you, well, with your best team ever, you fall very short, which they didn't even get to the Super Bowl. We lost to a team that didn't even get to the Super Bowl. How the hell are you going to do it without those guys? Like, we are losing 2 90-plus overall corners and probably Trenton Simpson. And we're expected to win it now? Bills win it all, obviously. That's crazy, though. Zach Ertz retires. Could have been a Ertz Super Bowl there. Let's take a look at the dev ups. See what we got. We have no dev up on offense. Henry's still looking good at 92 overall, but barely. And then defensively, don't think a dev up here either, sadly. Ballard's only a 77 overall, so that sucks. Yeah, we might need to make some changes because I need these guys to develop. And clearly whatever we got going on right now ain't working anyways, so we are going to be changing the playbooks. I don't know what to, but something else. Of course, we are negative in money, so maybe we can keep Trenton, which I would love to, so we'll try to restructure someone, and that's pretty much that. So we did a couple of restructures, which allows us to actually keep one of the corners if we want, but I'm not going to do that. We're going to keep Trenton Simpson. 4-year deal worth 24. Super good deal for us, and that's probably that. Save the rest for Wiggins next season. And that'll be that. Let's go to free agency where, again, we've lost 2 major players on the team and are still expected to go out there and try to win a Super Bowl. So with that being said, again, the schemes will be changing. Elton Jenkins would be an interesting name. Obviously, Jamel Dean on a 1-year deal could work, but somebody else wants him. If he wasn't being offered, I would take him. I'd go for him, but he's being offered, so sadly, I do not want a bid war. I'm not doing it. I want to lowball him, and I can't. So see you later. My call would be great if he wasn't getting offered, but he obviously is. So, we're being a little bit of a cock. We're just like, oh, beta stuff. You go ahead. It's okay. You go ahead. What else do we have, though? Any other position? Like, you could go Elton. I don't really think we need the upgrade, though. We're going to need a right tackle, though, after this season, because I'm not paying Rosengarten, I don't believe. Van Ness, don't really need him. Leonard Williams, he's a good 1 year, but for that price, I'd have to get him on a cheap deal. I wouldn't pay him more than 10. So we'll offer him a 10 mil. Takes it, sweet. Doesn't, sweet. Not going to hurt my feelings either way. Business is business, both sides. Don't know if I would say the interest is 2 bar, but they're saying it is, so whatever. And I believe that is going to be it, because all the other corners are just wanting too much money. So let's see what we get, if we get Leonard or not, which, nobody wants him yet, so there is a potential chance. And we do get Leonard, so, sort of technically we got a little bit of an upgrade, even though our corners room takes a hit. Leonard is a massive upgrade for us at DT, believe it or not, especially with the seasons he's had, 12.5, and they let him go. That's crazy to me. All right, we are in the draft. We obviously need a corner. There was 2 of them that looked decent. I scouted them further. Let's see how good they were, and, both were top 5. I'm not really sure why. I guess it was a different region, but I had Yarbrough and Ryans scouted already, and then these 2 guys are missing a little bit, so I scouted the rest of them, and top 5 is hard to pass on. So with that being said, I'm fine with Yarbrough as well, to be fair. So as long as Barlow and Overstreet, if they don't go like top 10, I probably trade up for whoever is remaining of the 2, which is probably going to be Barlow, but we'll see. I cannot believe it, dude. Overstreet and Barlow are both gone by 13, dude. This is going to cost so much, but we have no choice. Ryans is okay, but I like Yarbrough better. Oh, this sucks. And they have no money, so even if we have a player they might want, they probably can't afford it. Rosengarten has actually developed pretty nicely for us. Vincent? They can't afford him, but maybe we can pull this off. We'll see. This guy better be hidden, dude. Vincent, a 1st, 2nd, and 4th to move up to 14, which is 1 slot after a top 5. This guy better be hidden, brother. Oh, no. Jason Yarbrough. He looks amazing, but let's find out. Usually if they're 248, or 428, or, way high up there, they're hidden, but who knows? True Talent 8. Whew, thank you. All right, we'll have to compare it to the other 2, but yeah, that was not exactly how I wanted things to go. We have a day 3 running back. That'll be our next pick if the guy is there still at 27 and 3rd, but obviously I'm not trading up for running back if I still have Henry. I usually like to take a running back the year I'm going to start them, which obviously I'm not starting any rookie running back, even if they're like an 87 overall, unless I traded Henry off, but which, not really the plan. Wood is still there. We kind of need DT a little bit still, but I can live with what we got. We're going to go Devin Wood. He looks good. 1 to 2 true talent, fast. Might be the future. 41 true, please be hidden. Different type of back, too. Go to 27 in the 5th, where we might actually take a tight end, because there was a really tall one, which I know is going to be useless because he's 23 years old and he's a backup, but we're going to take him anyways if he's there, which he is. Lucas Turner, 23 years old, fast as hell, so we'll see. He's a freak, to be fair. 322 true. Hidden dev. They do at least give him hidden dev. I've seen a couple where they're normal. It's like, okay, well, I get they're tall, and fast. But, if you're normal dev, what the hell am I going to do with that, Next pick, still need a DT, sort of. Not maybe this season because Leonard's going to be starting there, but O-line, as always, is a problem. There's only 1 lineman left. No DTs left. So, with that being said, I'd probably take Lovelock and then maybe even trade up for the safety. Nate Lovelock is hidden. Huge pick. I'm going to trade up here with the Patriots to get that safety. I like him enough, and I think we could use the safety pick, assuming we can't afford Kyle at some point. But Kyle might have a contract for a little bit, so double sevenths, 007ths, finish the draft with this safety. Call it a day. Could take the 6'8 tight end as well, but we're going to take Jonathan Cooper. Same name as the edge rusher. 174 true. Oh, hidden. All right. I mean, I just figured a guy that got a little bit of speed, a little bit of coverage. You know, maybe he's a 70-ish overall, even if he's normal, but could be hidden. And that is very lucky. Not as lucky as the corner being hidden, though. That guy was normal. I would have been devastated. But yeah, 78 overall. I'm okay with trading up that high. That's fine. It sucks, but it's okay. Very fast. I mean, honestly, arguably the best corner in the class just based on size and speed. Only star dev. Wonder what the other guys look like. One of those could... I feel like Barlow easily could be a normal dev corner, but we'll have to see. Definitely curious about him and Overstreet. Devin Wood, sadly, normal dev, but he is a good player. Change directions, crazy, speedy. Seems like he has good catching. Lucas Turner, though. We're number 9 as a 6'9" tight end. I don't imagine he's the future at tight end, but he could be. He could be. We'll put him at, I don't know, freaking something in the 80s. 88, sure, why not? Dev, surprised he wasn't superstar. If I see a 6'8 plus that's hidden, I'm thinking superstar, but not so much this year, it seems. And then we will look at Cooper, who is a little bit of a lower overall. You know, he had the C-man coverage, I believe, with a little bit of speed. He's actually slower than I would have thought, to be fair. Dev of star. Not really. I mean, he'll probably be nothing for us, but still, it's better to have that than not to have that. Let's take a look at Barlow and Overstreet, which we'll have to back out afterwards because they still have the bug. A lot of DTs being taken, by the way. 83. Barlow's 81. Cowboys and Vikings. Let's see. So here, actually, let's go with the other guy first because Barlow's the guy we could have had and Overstreet's not, realistically. So Corey Overstreet. You know, it's one thing to pass on the first guy, but the second guy we could have traded up for right away. Cost us a little bit more, but we could have had him. Overstreet, star dev, so he is a lot better than our guy, but it's not like the end of the world. It's not like we missed an X factor. But here, we could have. We don't know. Barlow, I would have felt normal, though. And now I'm wrong. 81 overall. I still would have taken him. Obviously, you can't pass on a top 5, even if you think they're normal. Just don't be X factor. Even superstar I could live with. Okay, star dev. So, I mean, all 3 corners are good. Although I do want to see Ryan's now. Damn, even Ryan's was good. Obviously, he's a little bit more of a safety / zone guy, but 6'3 as well, fast as well, hidden dev as well. And superstar devs are actually better than our guy, arguably. But what do you... I mean, I'm not going to pass on B-man, B-zone for C-man coverage, A-zone, right? Personally, I wouldn't, but maybe I should have. I guess technically I definitely should have. And as much as I wanted to change the scheme, we've been winning games. We even got a bye week, and we still have Derrick Henry. As soon as Derrick Henry's gone, though, we probably will change it because we can't go super hard on the running back position if we don't have a good running back. But for right now, even though it hurts our receiving game and our development there, we're going to stick with it. Defensively, however, we might change because I'm not really a huge fan of the numbers we've had, but we've been winning games, so is it really smart to do that? I don't know. All right, this is where things get ugly. Lamar Jackson wants $500 million. So what the hell do I do with that? Why do I pay him $75 million? That's crazy. That's actually insane. So Madubuike, we've struggled with DT. We're going to keep him for sure. I'm going to keep Lamar, but it's just like, do I not just tag him in the end? It's cheaper. I will say, though, doesn't really seem the worst. Outside of like Lamar's crazy number, we're actually not in a terrible way. The big concern is just the guys we have to re-sign being too old to keep more than anything, right? Of course, half of this money does belong to Lamar at this point, but God, that's such an unrealistic contract. I think the QB contracts they're gonna bust. Like the bubble's gonna bust soon. Like, how is Dak and Jordan Love getting the money they're getting? Like, we should be seeing $40 million at most for those two guys. So it's like, is Lamar really worth $75 million per year? I'll do a 3-year $225. I don't know how I do a 6-year $450. That's ridiculous. That's actually ridiculous. We'll do a 1 year for Roquan if we can, which he won't do. And then what else do we have? Andrews, could do a 1 year for him, hopefully. He's been legit. Oh, no, it was 2 years. I meant to do 1, but I forgot it was already a 3. I thought it was a 2 to start. Either way, we do have money. I'm not paying Rosengarten that money either, but we have money. We can keep Henry if he's still around, so we'll see if that happens. Stanley we can keep around if we want to do like a 1 year kind of situation, but I don't know what to do with Lamar at all. So we actually got all the deals done. We got a 3-year 228, I believe, for Lamar. We got a 1 year 26 for Roquan, and then I can't remember the last contract. I think it was Wiggins is like a 6-year 110 or something. I don't know, something ridiculous. We still have $37 million though, so we're okay for now. All right, if we win and the Bills lose, I think we have the first seed, but we lost to the Bills, so we cannot tie them. So the odds of us getting the number 1 seed, very, very low. But you never know. Not impossible. See it. And yeah, unfortunately, we end up tying the Bills, and because we lost to them, we are playing in the wild card round, which, honestly, the fact that we keep losing in the first round every time we play, I don't hate this because, you know, it's a better chance. I can't believe we lost to the Browns, too, dude. Oh, it's tough. The number is obviously terrible for passing and rushing are great. Receiving always going to be pretty bad, but Flowers could go up in depth. O-line was actually really good outside of Stanley, which is crazy to think. Maybe Rosengarten is worth it. Rosengarten was actually really good. Pass rush, Mike Green with 11.5 sacks. Matabike with 8.5. Andrews with 6. Where the hell is Ballard, dude? Okay, we're going to have to change scheme because this is not working out at all. Let's take a look at the yearly awards. MVP goes to Hurts again. Lamar all the way down to 10. That means he's not playing quarterback. He's playing running back under center. That's really what he's doing. You know, we've just run the ball, and that's all we've done. Which is just not true for the Ravens, but that's their scheme in the game. Let's go against these Jaguars. We have them beat by 7 overalls. If we lose this game, then I 100% am changing the playbooks, but I don't know what to do after that point. Here we go. End of the game. We get 7 to start her out. We get another 7, 14-0. Jaguars aren't a bad team, though. Their overall is a little lower, but they do have a really good roster. 21-0. Don't think I've done a Jaguars rebuild, by the way, yet. Like, it's so crazy. Like, not trying to sound like high and mighty on myself, but like, just imagine like, you know, you watch the channel, you hear that, hey, he's going to be Jaguars franchise. It's going to be Jaguars franchise this year. That's pretty sick. We don't do it. We end up going Panthers. And then we don't even do a Jaguars rebuild, and we're already almost in October. We are selling the Jaguars fans, and I will never be forgiven. I apologize. We definitely got to get to them at some point. To be fair, it could be the team we do as our franchise after Panthers franchise. Like I said, I want to do a couple of franchises this year if you guys are down, if you guys are interested. So we'll see what happens. But yeah, we do win a playoff game. That's great progress. That's fantastic. See if we can go and make it past the divisional round. We made it to the divisional round twice now. This time actually having a win to get there. Texans 10-7. They are a pretty good overall at 87, actually. All right, going to the end of the game. Let's see it. Starting off with 7. They get a 7 back, though. We get a 7 back as well. They get 7 back. So 14 all. They get the stop. We get the stop. We get a score. Defense doing pretty well here, clutching up for us. Offense is consistent. Fourth quarter, 28-21. This drive needs a result in a touchdown. Oh, dude, not only do they not get it, but they lose 6 yards to knock us out of field goal range. Are you serious? I don't know whose fault that is, but that is one of the biggest sells I've ever seen. Like, you literally have the game won pretty much if you just don't take a sack. And what do? What do? Of course they take a sack. Why wouldn't they? I go for it here. You have to just take a shot to Andrews. It's a perfect throw. It's a perfect catch attempt, and he drops it. A punt from the 44-yard line. What does that do for me? Maybe we could have kicked a field goal. I don't think we have the kick power for that. But, like, what does that do for me? It does nothing. 4th and 10. We do force them to kick a field goal. Could have been a 7-point game right now. 3rd and 1. They do get it. And we will win the game anyways. All right. Headed to the championship round. The Ravens 28-24. Do we do a 3-year rebuild? Maybe. I mean, I could probably do a 5-year. Lamar Jackson, 1 touchdown, 1 pick. Joe Mixon outperforming Derrick Henry technically. Both running backs under 10 yards per carry, so earned every yard. Pass rush has not really been what we were hoping for. They missed a field goal, which probably played a little bit of a factor. Speaking so confidently though, we have the Bills here on the road. We might not win this Super Bowl this year. We might have to do another year or two. Maybe we don't win a Super Bowl at all. All right, going to the end of the game. Let's see it. Bills get 3. We drive down for nothing. They get a stop. They get a billion stops in a row here. Our ball is not being moved. There you go. Up by 1 after their 2 forced field goals. Defenses are both playing really well. Second half, huge touchdown, 8-point game. Bills get a touchdown with the 2 points. Just like that, it's a field goal. 3rd and 7. Huge first down all the way down the field here. 3rd and 4. Huge conversion. Touchdown up by 4. 11 minutes left. 4th and 7. It's a punt. Touchdown arguably wins this, but you're also sitting all the way back at your own 5-yard line. So a safety is possible. Got to be careful here. It's a tough throw, and he's going to be short. You got to go for this. Let's hurry up to the line. 2 picks for Lamar. Come on, Lamar. You can do better than that, buddy. I don't want to run the ball here. Turner, please. Ooh, it's scary. It's a freaking huge fella, but it's you know, that is a droppable ball if you're pretty low overall like he is. All right, we keep the drive alive, which is ridiculous risk, but it's 1 yard. Feel like it's worth it. Incompletion, but a huge first down. 1st and 20, 2nd and 20, 3rd and 9. They can convert this, but we're coming in to try to convert it ourselves. No Justice Hill anymore in these situations, apparently. It's pretty good coverage. I can't believe he left it. 4th and 3. I mean, we've been living by the go for, dying by the go for. Crazy to run a screen because you're just depending so much on the screen working, but we're going to do it. Wait, why are we under center for this crap, though? What the hell? It works, though. Thankfully, as Derrick Henry's got some room to the 41-yard line. I mean, we're sustaining a drive here. We're backed up insanely far. Let's see if we can win it. Touchdown pretty much wins it. 3rd and 4, first down. Huge touchdown, 11-point lead. And with that, the Ravens, which we needed that touchdown because they scored a last-second touchdown themselves, are headed to the Super Bowl. Statistics, yeah, 2 picks from Lamar. 2 kind of perpetual MVPs, it seems, going back and forth. Close game, of course. Cooks got stopped hard. 10 for 9. Not a great game for him. Bateman was great, though. Sacks, 2 for Matabike, 2 for Green, 1 for Milano, 1 for Ballard and Simpson combined. Hairston with a pick, Rapp with a pick, and Bilal with a pick. Perfect kicking from them, and the Ravens are moving on. I am stoked. Someone call me Eric. Still can't believe that didn't work out, but we got the Rams. We got the Rams in the Super Bowl. Kind of one of those obscure ones. I don't even think Stafford would be here anymore still. I'm going to take a quick look. Stafford's still there. X Factor and all. That's crazy. It's actually kind of wild that he just found a way to stick it out. Take a look, though, at, what happened to get here. The Rams beat the Falcons by 8. The Rams beat the Lions by a lot. Holy crap. And then the Rams beat the Packers by 4. So, fair enough. It's going to be a tough game. Stafford's still there. I really wish he wasn't. Receivers, no dev up for Flowers, which really sucks. And then defensively, Andrews is a freaking X Factor, dude. No other dev ups, though. We've just been really struggling to develop these guys. Clayton Andrews, though. Look at this guy. 91 overall X Factor. Just, you can't really beat him. He's basically a DT. The block shed's insane. Either way, let's go in, try to win a Super Bowl against the Rams, and then we'll debate if we want to do 2 more years or not. We'll see. We'll see. What the hell? It's raining at the Super Bowl. What do you mean? Clearly, I want to spend several $1,000s to attend this. It's crazy because we're in a dome. Freaking Hard Rock. I guess not hard enough of a ceiling. Is this like a closed dome, or could they close it? Like, if you're going to build an enclosed space like this, you should have the option to close the dome, right? As we're cooking right now in the rain. The elements are our favorite. 12-point game. Just sustain a little bit of a drive. That's not really what I'm talking about. Oh, there you go. Defense cooked. 33-14, the Baltimore Ravens win a Super Bowl. Let's go. All right, Lamar Jackson can officially be talked about as a Hall of Famer. I'm not like that, to be fair. It doesn't. If he's on the trajectory he's on, he doesn't win a ring, that doesn't matter to me. As much as, I get it, the Super Bowl should matter. I just think you look at a guy like Dan Marino, you look at a guy like Tom Brady, Is Tom Brady that many rings better than Marino? Like, not even close, right? Brady's great. He's also a really good quarterback, so it doesn't really help the argument against him. But he is not that many Super Bowl wins better than Dan Marino. He just isn't, right? So you got to take it with a grain of salt. There's so much luck involved in the NFL. You know, think about how many rings Brady would have lost if just one thing changes. Or how many things Brady would have won if one thing changed. Like David Tyree. You know, like this, they had a safety in the Super Bowl. You know, it's just, there's so many small things that can go right or wrong. An injury for your team or the other team, or, you know, one throw that goes your way, a flag. Like, you know, you always talk about how, oh, you can't blame the refs or this or that, but, you know, those things do add up. You sometimes can legitimately blame the refs, and whether you should play better or not, I hate that argument. Like, it's like, oh, well, you can't let it get up to the refs. It's like, well, the other team did. They just happened to get the call. You know, it's like, what kind of stupid argument is that? They let the game be decided by the ref, so it's our fault, we're not good enough. But yet they weren't good enough either, but they got the call that saved them. So there's just so much to it where you just can't only determine a quarterback on rings, especially non-quarterbacks. It's crazy. Like, there's just too many coaches, too many trainers, too many backups. This isn't the NBA where you can make the argument that, okay, one guy can kind of carry. If he stays healthy, plays a lot of minutes, he can carry. There's way too many players in this sport to be blaming or completely praising over one ring, right? Like, you know, or a ring. You just can't do it. So we'll definitely go for the back-to-back, but not sure. Not sure after that. I feel like if we get the back-to-back, though, you got to do a third, so this might just be like 2 more seasons. We'll see. If we don't get the back-to-back, though, we're going to call it. If we get the back-to-back, I think you have to do another season. We'll probably end up making, like, you know, just trading a bunch of players off. You know, trying to bolster up the team for a 1 year as you see Jalen Ramsey goes. We lose Stanley and Leonard Williams. Now I'm really wanting to, like, not do another season, but it is what it is. Don't know if we were going to afford Stanley anyways, but let's take a look. So we have $28 million. Who do we have to pay, though? That actually is not bad. I'll do a 5th year for Starks for sure. Rosengarten is gone. Henry. Okay, so we can at least get Henry for another year. That's good. Boom. And the rest are backup. So we do keep the majority of the team intact. Let's look at free agency, even though we can't afford anybody. McKinney, Jacobs, McCaffrey, Ali McNeil, Daniil Hunter. There's a couple of decent players here. A lot of Packer players I'm noticing. Kenny Clark, even though he's a Cowboy, he's got the Packers uniform. Counts. Don't care. It counts. But yeah, we're not going to spend any money here. We got to go through the draft as usual. All right, pick 32. You know, biggest need would probably be DT. Don't really love the DT options where we're sitting, though, unless we want to go crazy trade up. Of course, though, you do have another one of those USC goated safeties, and I don't know what this team is looking like at strong safety down the line. Of course, Coles looks like a really good running back, too, but you know, the way it is, pick 32, we're going to pay attention. See, you know, if any of these guys fall a little bit. If they do, we make a trade up. Like, if Cole's there at 10, I make a trade up. But as expected, he goes top 5. Not moving to top 5 for a running back, especially one that is not, like, the super prototypical, like, generational running back, like the ones we see that are, like, 96, 97 speed. You know, this guy's, like, 91 probably. Probably a high overall, to be fair, but could be star. Not one of the guaranteed, like, goated ones. Safety's still there at the moment. Not a huge need, though. That's the problem. I kind of need DT more than that. And there we go. We make a trade up to 18. We're going to take the safety after all. I mean, if I'm not going running back, which there's a couple of decent running backs. I don't love them, and we're not starting them this year anyways. It's going to be the safety. Rasheem Grenard. Or Greenard, depends on how he says it. And true talent 1 overall, it's basically a foolproof draft every time with that. And holy crap, all of my players are pretty much gone, so we're going to go Tim McPherson. It was a pretty weak class. Like, there was no UDFA-type linemen that I liked. There probably are some hidden, and we just missed them. Speaking of hidden, McPherson, actually a really good pick. Probably will start him. Probably missed him, but at the end of the day, it's, you know, what I'm used to drafting. Didn't really see it, so there might have been someone there, but personally, I didn't love it. All right, draft recap. Not a huge draft. Oh, wait. So we also took an 87 overall. That could make the title. I'll be real with you. That could make a title. 99 hit power. We just talked about, like, was the guy that we just seen
the best ever we've seen in a rebuild. Well, we just drafted one that was like 1-to-1. Actually might be better. Our guy might be a little bit faster with the acceleration and consideration there, but yeah, that might be in the title. Maybe even if we like miss the playoffs entirely, maybe I don't hate doing another season. The other two players, not really that special, but McPherson will be the DT2/3. Just two positions I've really struggled to develop. Oh, superstar. DT, and I guess there's more than two, but DT edge, really just the front four, struggling. Like, Ballard's a 79 overall right now. Like, what are we doing there? It's useless. All right, here's the team for season number 4. Just got done winning a Super Bowl. Of course, Derrick Henry's going to be gone, so honestly, even if we win back-to-back, if Derrick Henry retires, I'm probably just going to call it. Back-to-back is good enough for me, if it's even possible. Might lose a lot of players anyways, and more importantly, Derrick Henry, the run game will fall off tremendously when he's gone. So, money-wise, you can definitely keep Mike Green, possibly Roquan. Don't think you would keep Emery, but you could. And then Henry, if he doesn't retire, I suppose you can keep him again, but money kind of catching up a little bit with us. Let's see where we're at with Mike Green. This is like a theft for us. A little under 20. And then Roquan, you probably could do 1 year on again if you wanted to, which I think you do. Boom. And crazy to think, we went from probably the #1 seed to potentially missing the playoffs. Let's see. If we lose this game, I think we might miss the playoffs, which we do. We go from Super Bowl to missing the playoffs with one of the worst chokes I've ever seen. So we started this rebuild out year 1 with a crazy clutch 2-5 straight up 12-5 finish from 9-3 to 9-8. That is crazy. I think we were 9-3. So how many wins is this? That's 4 wins, 5, 6, 7, 8 wins. So 8-4, 9-4. That's crazy. We go from 9-4 to losing 4 straight games. 1 to the Jets, 1 to the freaking Steelers, and then the Buccaneers. I should not have done another season. I should have said, you know what? I'm glad we won a Super Bowl in year 3. It's a team that, you know, that's the reason why I didn't do it, though. This was like the hardest team in the world. I would have, like, you know, been like, okay, sure. But this team were kind of expected to win the Super Bowl, so it's like, well, let's see if we can do more than just win. Let's see if we can win 2 Super Bowls. Nope. Can't even make the playoffs the second year. That's a joke. Like, Stafford just won MVP. He's like an 80 overall. We win no awards. I got to see his overall. I got to see how he played first and foremost. 46 touchdowns, 8 picks, 4,700 yards. I need to see which scheme they're running, which, of course, we rocked with the Ravens scheme the whole way. What are the Rams running? They are running the Rams, so good to note. And then, of course, I need to take a look at that quarterback spot. So Matthew Stafford is 40, 81 overall, X Factor. And then I got to see how many teams are even close to our overall. 92 overall. Mind you, we just missed the playoffs. Bills 91. They beat us like every single time except for the playoffs. Chiefs at 91. Eagles at 90. 90 for the Lions. 92 for us. So we're the highest overall team in the league, and we can't even make the playoffs guaranteed. That scheme's some garbage. I swear it is. Either way, let's go to the Super Bowl, see who wins it, and I guess we'll call it there. Year 4, kind of a bust. I know we get the 87 overall, the Rams and Jets in the freaking Super Bowl, so maybe the Jets are pretty goated, even though they shouldn't be. But yeah, outside of drafting the 87 overall, there was really no reason to do another season. It's tough. It's just a complete waste. Also, I do want to see if Henry retires, but 28-25, Jets win. Does Henry retire? He does, so that's pretty much the perfect cutoff point. How does Henry retire and we still are broke as hell? That's tough. That's like the worst thing I've ever seen in my life. But either way, let's take a look at some of the players. Zay Flowers, 92 overall. Basically at 90 plus across the board. Then wide receiver 2, Bateman, of course, mainly upgrading from the training camp stuff. Pretty damn good too. Developed actually a lot better than I'm used to. Usually he's like an 84 to 86 range. He ends up getting to an 89 on this one. Vereen, 85 overall. Again, that thought he was going to be like a 78 overall normal. Outside of deep route, actually developed pretty well. Still got many years left to go, obviously. And then we will take a look at Lamar Jackson on the offensive side of the ball. D-backers, he just never went up, unfortunately. Never went up. What about the O-line? Do we care? Not really. Like Emory Jones, but he didn't really play. He played like 1 year. And then we look at the defensive side of the ball, where we definitely want to take a look at Mike Green. Probably the safeties as well. 89 overall Mike Green, very balanced across the board, super athletic, obviously. Then we look at Starks, 88 overall, better than I would have thought. He kind of slow, a little bit of a slow start, but definitely looks great already, which, we have him on an extra year because of the 5th-year option. Kyle Hamilton, 97 overall. Look at him, super strong, super good coverage, a little slow, but 6'4". Looking at the linebackers now, Roquan. Oh, I forgot he's old. The regression is crazy. 88 overall. We'd have him on a 1-year 24, which would probably be a lot cheaper if we try to re-sign him now instead of doing it when we did. Then, of course, we have Andrews, the 94 overall. Middle linebacker 1 on the team. Probably can't afford him coming up next season, but still, a very good player. DT's Matabike. I mean, I guess we'll look at Yarborough, but I don't really care about anyone else here. I guess I'll take a look at Matabike as well, but other than that, I think those are going to be the players we look at. We still won a Super Bowl, just, had a chance in year 2, completely blew that one. And then, obviously, we won one in year 3. And then year 4, didn't even get a chance at the thing, as we just go 9-8. What a joke. Either way, that is going to be it for this one. If you guys enjoyed this, leave a like. Subscribe if you're new. If you're not new, appreciate getting support of the channel. Maybe hit the bell notification all so you know when next upload is, which should be on Monday. Unless you like the non-Madden stuff, which, of course, we've recently uploaded 2 videos to the second channel, PKR Plays, and we'll probably have Borderlands again tomorrow. Not 100% sure, but really been enjoying that game, and some of you guys have been liking the series, it seems, so I'll keep it going. Dead Island, I think, is going to be the next game. Of course, we've been covering the Halloween game a little bit over there. Can't wait till that comes out, but that's like a whole year away, and when GTA 6 comes out, we'll probably play that as well, but check it out if you're interested in that, and let me know in the comment section below what rebuild you like to see next, whether it's a realistic style rebuild of, like I said, maybe the Chiefs. Hoping, I don't really have a, horse in the race, per se, but for this case, hoping the Ravens win, so then the Chiefs have even more to rebuild, as they'll be 1-3, but, 50-50, that was my chance. Take the Ravens, take the Chiefs. I'm going to bet on the Chiefs to lose. I don't know. But yeah, if you have a challenge rebuild idea, you want it to be next, let me know in the comment section below. And that's about it. Thanks for watching. Hope you guys come back for next video. But until next video,